welcome back. As the title will say, we're on with getting some of the projects we've had in the background finished off and done and dusted. So this one is going to be the Corsa 1.9 diesel. Now the car has been over at the Wizard of the East's house whilst we've just had other things on, life's got in the way. You know, we've kind of neglected these projects, so we're getting back onto them to get them finished. So the plan is I am going to go over and we're going to spend a good weekend just concentrating on the wiring. Nothing more, just getting this car wired, running, driving, getting it all done. Because obviously on the last video, it was already in the engine bay. You know, it was 95% there. It was just some titivation that needed doing, boost pipes, you know, the down pipe, fancy one, all that type of thing. That kind of is my job. But obviously we struggled with the wiring because, you know, we were trying to get it running various ways, but we think we've cracked it. So we're going over this weekend now to spend a couple of days to get it wired so I can bring it back and get it finished. Don't know what's going to end up, don't know what we're going to do, but let's get on the road and let's get over to get this 1.9 diesel done. So I've arrived over at the Wizard of the East's little workshop. We're set up now for the day with the 1.9 diesel Corsa D. The plan is this weekend is to stay for as long as it takes, and we're getting this finished, running, driving, so I can take it back home and I can start making the future plans for it. But that's what we're on with. Don't know where we're going to end up. Just follow this journey and we'll see how we get on. So just to give you a bit of a look, obviously I think last time you saw us with the engine in the bay. So yeah, we're literally on with wiring to make it run. But no, we're in nice little workshop. You know, it should be a nice little setup. We've got a little hydraulic ramp. There's the control box, so we can get it up in the air. And we're going to make a really good start with this and get it complete. Right, to give people an idea what we're doing, because obviously you just watched the time lapse, the loom that we're stripping, on the ECU plug, there's two sides. You have one side which comes off and goes onto the engine, and you have another side which comes off, which joins into bits of the engine, pedal, some other bits and pieces here and everywhere. So we need to work out what goes where. But rather than put the full complete loom in, we've stripped it and we're picking out the pieces we need. Like, you know, this here is the main earth. There's no need to have the full loom, just a single wire. This plug, so we're going to now go through here. So all this stuff is redundant, can be cut out because it goes to like headlights and some other bits and pieces, which the body side of the ECU needs to see, but we don't need. So as you can see, with all that big pile of wiring there and there, we've cut it all out. So now it's to get wiring diagrams out and work out in these bunch of probably, I don't know, 30 wires, what can stay, what can go, what's needed and what isn't. So take this one, this plug. This plug is for the fuel filter. So, you know, we can feed that back to the ECU, leave it in, and then the ECU will know that it's got a fuel filter sensor. So that's what we're on with now, and that's why we're taking our time, unpicking this loom bit by bit to work out what's needed and what is. Now, to go how in depth we go with these conversions, and to what we've done is, we even float the chips off. The Wizard's got his hat on and we're floating the chip back onto the board. Now, to let people know why we're doing that and what happened was, obviously we're trying to find ways to get around the immobilizer routes, to find out what the code's saying, to see whether there's somewhere we can trick it and get it to work. Hence, we had to float the chip off so we could put it into like an EEPROM reader to read the hexadecimal and go from there. So that's why we're having to float this chip back onto the board. And also a really interesting fact about, very random, about that bed is a Z19 ECU. When we checked the full hexadecimal code out, we had it looked over by a guy who is like an absolute expert and specialist. He sent us the breakdown of the code. And this is genuinely in the code on that ECU in the hexadecimal. Whoever's done it has written a joke. I can't think of the joke off my head, but it was something like an Englishman, a Frenchman, and a German, blah, blah, blah. I'll try and find the messages he sent us, but in that code there is a joke somewhere that whoever's coded it must have put in for whatever reason, because he were bored one day, but we found it when obviously, you know, checking out the hex. Let's get this chip on. That means that we can start ploughing on now and getting this cranking and getting it running. So as with the rat's nest, if you've never wired a throttle pedal outside the engine bay to test it working, you're going to see it now. So as you can see, the best part of probably 8 hours of searching through wiring diagrams and messing around, it's running. What a bloody nightmare this has been. So let's have a quick, you know, recap, clean up, assess, and go from there. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be, we haven't even got the exhaust attached, so as you can see, we're kind of killing ourselves and choking ourselves out. So let's open these doors and get some fresh air in. So that's me now signing off. I've been here overnight. We started yesterday, which was Friday about, I don't know what time, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock by the time we messed around and physically got in here and worked. We did till probably 10 o'clock last night. We've done today from 10 o'clock to I think now it's probably 3 o'clock. We have been out and got some lunch and what have you. In them hours, we have finally cracked this car and got it running. So now it's on the key, it's on the button, the throttle pedal works, the ODB works for diagnostics, everything seems to work perfectly. So now it's time for me to then disappear, go home and leave the car with the Wizard of the East to do his magic and in essence tidy the looms up. That's what he's going to do. He's going to, you know, we've figured out where everything goes. We know it works. He's literally just got to make it look pretty, put it in sheathing, put it in tape, and then it's job done. It's cracked, it's running. It's time to come back to my house now for the fabrication side, which I'm quite looking forward to because as I've said, I think in a previous video, I think I'm going to keep this one for myself as my everyday runner. So I'm quite excited. Going to call it there. Thanks for watching. Update coming soon again on this. Keep liking and subscribing. See you on the next video, guys.